What's up, guys? I know you've all been waiting for it. In this video we're talking about looks rare. We've been talking about X2Y2 for a pretty long time now, for a little over a week, I'm gonna assume. We're still talking about X2Y2 in here as well. Yes, it's been 10 days already actually that we've been talking about X2Y2. As requested by a lot of people, we're talking about looks rare. Where's looks rare at right now? What are the expectations? What's the potential? Is there any potential? Yes or no? So we've got a lot of things to cover. Let's get started with X2Y2 first, and then we'll jump into looks rare after that. Why? Is because, well, pretty unexpected, it did a massive jump up. If you were lucky enough to time it properly, you could have had 100% gain in a couple of hours. Not too sure where it comes from. I haven't really seen any like announcements or anything that made the token pump up, apart from just Bitcoin itself jumping up as well, right? So here you see it went as low as 25 cents, and then it went all the way up to above the 50 cents. So there was more than 100% gain in here in what, 1 p.m. and 4 a.m. So in a couple of hours time you were able to make 100% gain on it. Doesn't really matter. No, are we looking for like those quick flips in here? No, not really, but still there is at least a form of potential. There's upside movement, right, which is positive, because up until now everything was going up and X2Y2 just kept declining and declining and declining and declining. Here you can see a massive jump up as well. So everything reacted, the whole market reacted. What does that mean for X2Y2? Well, not a whole lot yet, to be honest. Why? Is because, well, yesterday, we can find out by this one. Yesterday, the token price was, during our film, during the video, it was sitting at 36 cents, right? So right now, it's sitting at 48 cents. Yes, definitely more than yesterday, but still not enough. We want to see a, jump towards the 70 or 80 cents. When that happens, then it's like, all right, cool. Look, this is useful. This is something that we can work with, right? As for the announcement, as we already said, there's not a whole lot new things out there, new things happening. Of course, we're doing a daily update, so you can't expect them to come up with new daily updates every single day. This is the news tweet. Rebels, we've just made our X2Y2 development board public. Here's what we're working on right now. All right, cool. This is interesting. The backlog, add 24-hour volume and change on ranking page. So this is all the things that they're working on right now, right? The things that are done, the things that are actively in progress right now, the things that they want to do, and probably the backlog itself is the things that they are talking about a little bit, right? Add 24-hour volume, change ranking page, retain scroll position when you go back from NFT page, fix connect to Telegram UI, external API, and ERC's 1155 support. So this is done. Bulk buy, that's been announced the other day. Admin page for collection creator. Add time frame to suspend claim when new listing rewards published. Adjust contract filter to display unverified contracts in volume order. This is what we can expect most likely as fast as possible, like at the start, right? At the first. Display all NFTs on collection page. All right, that makes sense. Improve listing reward calculation. Improve listing reward page. Improve card UX and bulk buy with WEF. Awesome. And then to do, so this is going to be a little bit later on. This is going to be first. There's more, of course. You can probably click on the link and then you can see a little bit more. But fuzzy search, fave button on NFT list, better progress toast of purchase cancel like Uniswap, rarity integration. This is an important one. Somehow they still haven't done that yet. And floor price compare with OpenSea, which we can already kind of do through like the tweets that come out with like this one, what floor. But it would be cool to just have like a page on the X2Y2 website where you can just compare the floor price instantly as soon as you click on like a certain specific collection of an NFT, right? Which is pretty awesome. So that makes sense. Other than that, not a whole lot of new things. Some guys talking about why he thinks you should be using X2Y2 other than OpenSea, right? But we've talked about that quite a lot already. Let's look at the results that we've gotten. So yesterday we claimed the NFT listing rewards, right? I haven't looked at it yet, see what it looks like, but collected to date is this is what we collected yesterday from the days before. So right now there's nothing to collect because all of these have been collected already. And as for today, we have none, zero. Maybe, that would be weird. Maybe this still needs to be updated, but usually that doesn't happen like that. Usually it straight away says how many tokens you would have got to claim. So this just, it is either is wrong or I don't know, because there's definitely volume on a mutant ape, so there should be a form of rewards. Maybe you get like a 1 day, no, maybe there's 1 day that you can't claim after that you've claimed before. I don't know, but let's see what happens there tomorrow then, or later on today. APR actually dropped a little bit more again, so it's going towards a point now that we don't really want to see it go to, because it's not going to take a whole lot longer, and then it's going to go below the 1000% APR, and then that's definitely a time to get out, because you're going to have to wait a very, very, very long time for the token to turn around after that for you to be able to make some gains on it, which is what we're going to talk about LooksRare, same thing as well. So quick refresh, 10,485 probably. Let's round it off. Yeah, 10,485 is where we're at right now. So 10,485. You can see that, oh, well, this was a little bit later on, so it's not that bad, I guess. I was going to say, you can see how many less tokens we're instantly getting now that the APR is down again, but it might not be that bad. So this right now is, we have earned 400 here, so that's a pretty big difference. We have earned a 484 tokens from yesterday to today. Yes, 2.5 hours difference, but still I think, well, let's look at the day before here. No, that's okay. So it's not down a whole lot, a little bit, but not a whole lot. And in total, we've earned 4,375 tokens, meaning this times the current price. So this is interesting because this should be up compared to yesterday. So 47.97, 47.97. So yes, this is the most amount of money that we have earned up until now with the staking rewards. Why is that? Well, of course, because the token price has just jumped up. It is sitting at 47.97, which is probably the highest it's been in 2 or 3 days. Yeah, in 2 days. So the highest has been in 2 days, but of course we have earned more tokens. So here you can see a decent difference, right? Because now we've earned 600 more, 650 more in tokens, right? In APR rewards, but of course the price of the token itself must be up too. So 0.4797. We're now at a total of $5,000, right? So still at a loss. We still need a significant gain. We've put in $8,000, so we still need 3,000 to break even. But if, for example, the token price will continue to rise a little bit, if this token price will actually, well, we can compare that. Let's say we would earn another 500 tokens tomorrow, then we would be sitting at close to 11,000 tokens, right? So this plus 500, close to 11,000 tokens. And let's say the token price actually jumps up with another, let's say another 20% from now. So 20% will be 1/5, will be close to 10 cents. So let's round it off to 57 cents then, as an example. This is 57 cents. So then we would be up another $1,200, right? And then it's getting close to like, hey, look, we have the potential to eventually break even again. But as I said before, it's got to hurry up a little bit because APR is going down. And I think below the 1,000 or close to the 1,000 mark, that's definitely a dangerous position to be in. It's going to be a psychological swift for people that are like, no, I want to get out. I need to get out. It's not returning me anymore. And considering so many people are selling already, so many more tokens come in the circulating supply, there's inflation happening. If then also the people that are staking right now are going to take the money out, then you're just going to collapse the token price. So again, they need to have a burning system in place, and they need to come up with more and more features. But I do like that, they're pretty active with how many more announcements they're coming up with, which is something I want to talk about with LooksRare as well. So now we know where we're at with X2Y2, another video on all of that tomorrow. Let's compare LooksRare, because this has been requested. We want to talk a little bit more about LooksRare. So you can see same thing here when a massive jump up, right? Well, not as much as others, but still 10% up from this moment here. It is sitting at $1.12. Unfortunately, I don't have like the sheet anymore with all the statistics that I had from tracking the APR that we did with LooksRare, but I kind of roughly still know that on top of my head. We gotta go roughly here. So this is what happened, right? Token price went up and up and up and up and up. It hit a peak, Here, this is roughly where I started paying attention to it a little bit more because it dropped, so it became a little bit cheaper. It established itself a little bit in a way where I was like, you know, I can trust this project now. So I missed the peak. This would have been awesome, of course. This would have been an awesome run because you would have almost doubled your, or maybe if you were from here, you would have doubled your tokens. APR was very high at that moment as well. Here, APR was a little bit less than all the way at the start because, of course, not that many people put their money in yet and staked it. But at least there was a little bit more confidence here because we trusted the project. So we put our money in somewhere here, right, at $3.20, I believe. So that would have been, yeah, all the way at the bottom here, most likely. Yeah, or it was here, it could be as well. No, it was definitely here. On the 24th, no, on the 25th. So it wasn't, probably was 360 then, roughly. It was on the 25th, I remember that. So it was on the 25th, we put our money in, it went all the way up, 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 up. This point here was a moment that I considered, you know, I would have wanted to sell it. It was all the way to the 540 mark, 550 mark. It was on a Tuesday, I believe. So I really wanted to sell, but I promised for you guys to do another video on the Sunday. So I didn't actually make that, I didn't end up making that sale, so I didn't end up selling, which would have been the most profitable moment. At this time here, I think my tokens were worth like 52K, so I actually doubled it because I put in $25,000, and because of the APR and this run, I actually more than doubled my tokens. So if you then go calculate, I do really think it was 3.2. So probably would have been here on the 24th, $3.2 all the way up to 550 with APR. I actually more than doubled my tokens in a very short time frame. Didn't end up selling it, so then it went down and down and down and down and down. And it kept declining. Here, this was a bit of a push that came up because at this moment here, people were afraid for the halving, right? The APR halving happened. That happened here. It wasn't as bad as expected, so it jumped up. It did a bit of a run up, and here at the peak I sold because we knew that the next day, where the halving happened on the tokens that you gain from Lux, the Lux rewards, but you also gained gain WEF, right? If you look at it here, you get APR from Lux and you get APR from WEF. And the WEF was still at a pretty high amount. So that's why people were like pretty optimistic. So I sold here, and then the next day APR from WEF went down, and then bang, it went down and kept going down forever, and it never recovered. So why? What is happening? Why is this not recovering? Well, cool. First of all, at the first halving, or before the first halving, around here, there were 4 million tokens coming in the circulating supply every single day. And after the halving, that's around 2 million tokens coming in the circulating supply every single day. But it's continuing over and over every single day from the start. So the amount of tokens in circulating supply is going up quite a lot, right? Quite drastically. Market cap is sitting at 275 million right now already. This is not gonna just magically go up to $500 million. There needs to be more to LuxRare than there is to right now for this market cap to go up. But if the market cap of the project is roughly staying the same, the value of this is staying the same, and more tokens come in the circulating supply, then this number goes down, so your tokens become worth a little bit less money, right? And that same principle will continue for a while at least. And then eventually we already know that there's going to be another halving, and then this APR is going down even more. At the start, there was a very logical reason to invest in LuxRare because of the very high APR, which was obviously here, and then the company proved itself, the token proved itself, it can have a very high market cap, a very high token, that there's potential there. But there were a lot less tokens in circulating supply here compared to here, right? So eventually it's going to struggle more and more and more. Now already the APR is down, so there's a less of an incentive for people to jump in. So that's not another reason that people slowly starting to take the money out, and you just go down in a vicious circle, right? Then we look at APR of WEF. WEF is going down as well, and WEF comes from the trading rewards. People get money from the trading rewards, right? What we got to look at now is this. I'm going to give you two things that are, in my opinion, very important. The APR, calculation of the APR. So this is at 200%, right? And at the start, it was pretty difficult to calculate, so we always kept it at 200%. That's daily compounding. So if we would keep this in there for, let's say, 10 days as an example, initial balance is, we'll use the same formula as X2Y2, right? Here we can use this X2Y2. We had 3369 tokens. So let's put that in here because we'll just go by tokens, not by dollar. And then we'll go off the APR was of course very high with X2Y2 at that time. So the 18th to the 23rd was 5 days. So we'll do term 5 days. After this, after those 5 days, we would have gone from 3369 tokens to 3462, right? Meaning we've gained 100 tokens in 5 days. All right, when we look at LooksRare, what have we gained in those same 5 days? 1695 tokens. Oh no, hold up. Wait. Yeah, that's true. So almost 1700 tokens earned in 5 days, right? Compared to 100 tokens in 5 days. Why? Is because there's a significant difference between APR when it's a little bit lower. There's certain like turning points where APR suddenly becomes worth a lot less. It's a lot less value to the APR that you get compared to a higher number, right? Because of the daily compounding that's in there. That's one of the things. But then secondly, you got to also look at this is actually split. So the part is LooksRare and part is WEF. So when you completely break it down, well, it becomes even less because partly it is 120% that you gain on your WEF, right? And then partly of it is 80% that you gain on your LooksRare. Overall, there's not a whole lot of gain anymore. So you can't rely on the APR anymore. I'm not saying it's a good comparison with X2Y2 because this token is going down on X2Y2, so still doesn't make sense really. Hey, this looks awesome. This looks like a really upward trend, and then you zoom out and you definitely see that that's not the case. But X2Y2 is not a good investment right now because of the inflation, because of the downward trend on the token, but at least you gain quite a lot of tokens. So if there's a turnaround point later on, you can benefit from that, right? With LooksRare, that's just a downward trend and that's all. And then the APR doesn't really make up for anything. So maybe somebody that has invested a whole lot of money, he might have invested, I don't know, like 100K. Let's go for 100K, which is a good number. He might have invested 100K in it, and then that person is now earning roughly $300 per day in WEF. This is just the WEF, the 80%, right? The 120%. And then there's accumulating number, and then you gain more tokens, etc. So there's a little bit more of a compounding effect in there, but he is earning roughly to $2,300 per week in just WEF, and WEF is a very good stable coin to accumulate and to have. So that might be the case for somebody that's already in it from the start, has gained a lot of tokens, might have already gained from it, might have already profited from it, might be in there for free because he took profits along the way up, and then he's just sitting in there with his money accumulating WEF for free. That makes total sense in my opinion, right? But other than that, is there a whole lot of upside potential? Well, I compared a little bit of their socials, their Twitter and their Discord compared to that one of X2Y2. There's not a whole lot happening. Yes, they have a lot of followers, which is good. Of course, there's a lot of exposure with it. Here in their Discord, they have 56,000 people, which is important, right? You need that exposure. And this was a very good topic from people here. But this is that pinned tweet from the 15th of January that's still very important now and still, one of the most important factors about it. The comparison between trading on OpenSea compared to LooksRare and the rewards that you gain, the overall amount of money that you actually pay, right? OpenSea, you pay 90, or this is for example of a Bored Ape, you pay 91. There's trading fee and royalties, 4.5 goes off. Then there's no trading rewards. So eventually the seller gets back for it 86.5 Ethereum, right? On LooksRare, there's less trading fees, so you pay a little bit less, but you also get rewards in Looks. And then overall, the buyer actually gets Looks tokens back, and the seller gets a lot more money for the sale that he made, right? And this is an important factor of why you should be trading on LooksRare and not on OpenSea. Similar examples are there for X2Y2. Then we go to all the statistics though, and what we see is, I don't know which one it is because I've got a lot of them open. But you see that, yes, that's been the case for a little bit, but the wash trading was a big conversation, and now you're starting to see that that's actually a big factor in LooksRare, right? And that's why, for example, WEF is down, the trading volume is down, etc. For us, when we were still in it, it didn't matter because we were in it right here when there was a whole lot of wash trading happening, which we just benefited from. Like, I don't really care what people are doing. I don't care whether there's wash trading or not. I don't care whether people say it's a scam or not. Whatever people might say, as long as we can make money out of it, we're happy, right? And that definitely was the case with LuxRare up until a certain point. We got out at exactly the right time, which I said to you guys, right, which we mentioned. But then you look at it, well, here, we can probably get the exact date. Here, this is the 10th. So around here, this is the moment on the 9th that the announcement came of the halving. Then it wasn't as bad, so it jumped up. And then on the 10th, the halving came off WEF, and then bang, this went down, right? Well, then we look at the volume. Here, volume is on the 9th, was very high, which is exactly at that time halving came, and then it just stopped. Why is, well, maybe those people that did wash trading, that did like fraudulent fake trading, it wasn't really beneficial for them anymore after those rewards dropped, and because the trading rewards dropped in half as well, right? So it wasn't just the staking, it was the trading rewards as well. So for them, it wasn't attractive anymore, so they just stopped doing all that, and then bang, a majority of the trades happening on LuxRare went away, and they couldn't attract new people. So rather than it being an upward trend, they actually lost people on their platform, which is the opposite of what you want. You want to attract more and more and more people, right? Then you look at other statistics and you see that there's just no, LuxRare can't compete with OpenSea, and they haven't been able to yet, apart from when the rewards were that high. But that means that the only one thing that attracted people were the staking rewards, and that's it, right? Here you can see LuxRare daily users versus OpenSea daily users. Obviously, massive, like clear winner with OpenSea, but you also see that the daily users went up a little bit, and then again halving came around here, and it just kept declining. It's a very small decline, you can't see much, but it's because there's not much to begin with. Same thing here, there's just way more OpenSea hourly users than LuxRare. Daily transaction, it's all the same, right? There's just nothing left here. Like there's no no little green bump here. Has a little bit here, and then there's nothing left. So this is one of the statistics that we can grab. Here is, let's see, which this wash trades filtering. So this guy took the effort to compare the wash trading versus the normal trading, right? This is daily volume. So again, from the moment that the halving came, daily volume dropped. So it's not like we're now waiting on a reversal for the token price. We're waiting also on a reversal for people actually using the platform again. It is a project that has utility. It has a product, and the product is the NFT marketplace, but it needs to be used, and the product itself needs to develop, and then needs to attract more users so that it's going to go in an upward trend, rather than only focusing on the API. The API is for the investors, which is nice, but the platform itself needs to grow. And instead of the platform growing, it's actually, decreasing in size because there's nobody using it anymore, or at least there's less people using it after the halving. So the halving went, and then this just went in a downward trend. Same thing here, without the back and forth trade, so people trading it back and forth towards themselves, right, for tax purposes. Happened a couple of times, and then again downward trend. Same thing here after the halving, which was around here, downward trend. Then you see suspicious collection sales, which is a whole lot, but it became a lot less here. So here was a whole lot of stuff happening, and here there's a lot less, because apparently for people it might not be worth it anymore. Now the rewards have dropped that much, right? So that's an example of where you can see that there's actually there was a lot of wash trading, which we benefited. I've done videos and they're like, look, I don't care about the wash trading. I'm happy it's there because we make money out of it, right? Perfect. But then just make sure that you know when to get out. And then you see now we've gotten out, there's no wash trading anymore, but then there's also no way of making money anymore. Volume, same thing here, went down, accumulated volume. So you saw the growth, halving came right around here, and then there's no real, so this is cumulative, right? So there's no real growth anymore in volume, right? This is the overall volume ever, started from 0, went up. So this can't ever go down because that's impossible, right? It would have been, if there was no tradable volume anymore whatsoever, this would have been a flat line, right? So you see there is still some volume, but there's a lot less volume than there was before. Fees generated, that's not important. User count, so the user count was a lot higher as well at this point, and then it dropped a little bit. Halving was around here, and then it just kept dropping even further. Transaction count, cumulative transaction count, that's not important. There's a lot of statistics that we can run over. They're all really important, or some of them just kind of fun to look at, and that's it. Well, it's good to have an overall overview, just noticing and seeing the trend, and the trend is that it's kind of dying out rather than growing, in my opinion. So LuxRare versus X2Y2 volumes. Here you see that there was a lot of volume. X2Y2 didn't have that much volume. It came up here a little bit, X2Y2, but also couldn't hold stable. So there was hype, and then there was they couldn't keep up with that growth level, right? X2Y2, in my opinion, has more potential purely because they just come up with a whole lot of new innovative things. Where LuxRare is just a NFT marketplace up until now, so far. It's just an NFT marketplace, and that's about it, right? You check that the announcement channel. It's not a whole lot here. The last tweet was 2 days ago, or the last announcement, but it's just a simple tweet. Then here, not a whole lot. On the 24th, you can now lower the price of your listings for free. Well, that's awesome. It's good, but not that special, not innovative. Another thing on the 24th, nothing special. 24th, gas refunds. I do think that that's cool. They're refunding people their gas, so you can list for free. You can trade for free. That's a good thing, I guess, a positive thing. But aside from that, really, how much is there happening here? Less, right? And even though they're a bigger company, a bigger market cap than X2Y2, there's less things happening, less activity, less movement. And from an investor point of view, this one is already at a 275 market cap. This already has a lot more tokens in circulating supply, right? Well, then I think right now X2Y2 would be the more logical investment, to be honest, right? I'm not saying put money into X2Y2 right now. I think it's dangerous. It's tricky, but yeah, you've seen if you would have put in money yesterday, then you would have made a good gain on X2Y2. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to continue upward trend. We're waiting on a burning system in place for X2Y2. If they don't do anything like that, it's going to have the same trend as LuxRare, and it's just going to continue dying out for weeks and weeks and weeks to come. So what else do we have here? Volumes, again, more volume, where you do see OpenSea is just dominant, right? Pure domination over everything else. But the important thing for us to see is that LuxRare tried to come up, and they kind of gave a little bit of a push at the start, but then they couldn't really keep up simply because there was nothing new and innovative, and staking rewards went down, token price went down. So yeah, obviously you're gonna leave in that regard. So this is X2Y2 NFT sales compared to LuxRare, and then X2Y2 is the red one, LuxRare is the blue one. So still more volume than X2Y2 has, but even though it has more volume, it also has a market cap that is more than almost 6 times bigger, right? Well, yeah, 6 times bigger, and APR that is a lot less. So what will be a logical way to jump into LuxRare right now? Well, there isn't, and I don't have anything against LuxRare at all. Like, I would want them to do better. I would want. Oh, they went down a lot. I don't know. I thought it was 79. I don't have anything against LuxRare. It's a little bit too dark in my opinion. That's why I use my Discord in light mode instead of dark mode as well. I know you guys hate that. Everybody keeps saying it, but I can't deal with it. I think this is too dark for me. Other than that, like, why would I have something against this project? I don't. I hope they take on OpenSea, and I hope they do well, and I hope they push a little bit, which makes OpenSea have less of a monopoly, and OpenSea needs to be innovative as well, because right now they can just chill because there's nobody else taking them on, right? So I would want to see LuxRare do better, but I just don't think right now that they have the potential to do so, unfortunately. So I don't think that there's a whole lot of happening. So in my opinion, that's about it. There's not a whole lot happening on their Twitter. Statistics show that it is kind of dying out slowly but surely. Token price can't keep up with the inflation of the new tokens coming in circulating supply. It doesn't attract new investors because the APR is not high enough, and there's no other reason to really jump into LuxRare right now. So I don't see this token price going any further up. Then maybe it bounces towards 150, but then it drops back down. I kind of do see it dropping below the $1, to be honest, and I think that it can continue to decline until there's something that's gonna make LuxRare stand out. And I might be forgetting something here. I might not focus on a certain specific part, but I do think that everybody that's right now really bullish on LuxRare is just invested in it and wants it to do well. It's like positive hope rather than fundamentally strong stuff. Maybe I'm missing something. If you are very bullish on LuxRare and you think that there's something that I should have looked at, please let me know in the comments down below, because I cannot find anything on it, and that is why I do see this token price drop below the $1. What would I do if I'm still in it? Depending where you're at, if you just jumped in, if this is what I would do, if I just jumped in and I kind of realized, oh, hold up, that might have been a good idea, I would just take the loss and jump out. If you've been in it for a very long time and you've lost a lot of money because you didn't get the call, you didn't work on the call that I gave you, because I gave everybody the call right here to jump out and to take profit. And some of you did, some of you didn't, and then obviously it went all the way back down. So if you're in it still with profit, I would take profit, I would go out myself. If you're in it with a very big loss, then depending on how big that loss is, well, you might as well just ride it out and see what happens and benefit from the WEF gains, because at least you do gain WEF, and WEF is valuable. But WEF can't, if you have 10,000 in WEF but you've lost 20,000 in Lux, well, then it doesn't make sense, obviously. So it kind of depends on the situation you're in right now. If you've lost a lot and you don't need the money, just ride it out and just see whatever happens, and you can still gain from this APR for a very long time. I think they have like more than 2 months to go before there's going to be another drop. In that time, you can definitely gain tokens. But yeah, I wouldn't put any money in here right now. I wouldn't be investing in it. I probably wouldn't even, I know you guys love it, dollar cost average. I probably wouldn't even buy in right now to lower my dollar cost average, because I think it would be a waste of my money. I think it would be spent better somewhere else. So that's my take on LuxRare compared to X2Y2 a little bit, and my overview on LuxRare overall. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of LuxRare. Are you still in it, or did you get out just on time? Thanks for watching though, and I'll see you guys in the next video.